Stop talking, guys. The cold open has started. Hey, we got stadium news. We got Halas Hall news. We got the big game on Thanksgiving. A lot to talk about here on the CHGO Bears Podcast. What is up? Welcome in CHGO Bears Podcast. A busy Tuesday. That always happens when you go from the Sunday to the Thursday game, plus an early kick on Thursday too. Remember when the Bears a few years ago had to play Sunday night and then turn around and play at 11:30 a.m. in Detroit? I don't remember what happened on the Sunday night game, but I do know that they beat the Lions because they are 3-0 against the Lions on Thanksgiving in their last 3 tries.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. Maybe.
I'm so excited for this opportunity to go up to Detroit and take the North and never give it back. It is amazing that the Lions
We're going to take Ben Johnson and never give him back.
Yeah, right?
How is it that the Lions have taken the North and never given it back? That's what's happened. Hey, speaking of Ben Johnson, Hoge, I didn't tell you this, or you, Greg, or you, Steven, or you, Lawrence.
Not good to keep secrets. So
I watched a Ben Johnson press conference yesterday.
Ooh, that's on my to-do list.
Dude's fantastic.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's big coming from you.
It is.
You are the press conference analyst. Actually, Jeff Agris in the Sun-Times has ranked you number 1 among his press conference analysts in the yearly media ranking.
Don't mention that guy's name. I got major beef with Agris. He's just a long time.
Not anymore, man. He wrote about CHGO.
Did I get a mention in that article?
I have no idea.
I don't think I did.
I don't think you did.
I mean, the pictures.
You should start a Jeff Agris ranking of the different Jeff Agris around the country and then rank where he is.
I just want to rank the level of disrespect that I get from Agris.
It's a reverse Agris ranking.
No, I love Agris. Agris he's really he's setting new precedents daily is what he's doing. But no, I watched Ben Johnson. He was engaging. He was interesting. He had a sense of humor. He was intelligent. And I was like, yeah.
Can he lead a football team?
So that's the whole thing with Ben Johnson. We're off topic to start the show, but we can't hire him because he's he's never been a head coach or whatever. My 2-second read on him is that guy would do quite fine in front of a team.
Okay.
All
right. Well, let's start with what's going on with the Bears right now. There was some stadium news we got to talk about. I tried to convince Greg to stay home this morning to avoid this conversation, but he didn't listen to me because he loves you guys that much.
And by you guys, that's you, not me or
right,
Adam.
I'm talking about. No, they know that.
Okay, or yes. Steven.
Especially Matt Nagy in our chat.
Yeah. And what about Vizzo Joe? He's on. He's doing good work.
So I think it's an interesting time for Kevin Warren right now. He is now about a year and a half, a little bit over a year and a half into his official tenure as the team president, CEO, and president of the Chicago Bears. Really, we are knocking on the door of 2 years, though, of him officially being named into the position and starting to get to work, because it was pretty obvious he was getting to work before he even officially started. So I think it's fair to say it's been almost 2 years, guys. And I think we're still waiting, and I know he's being patient, but we're still kind of waiting for him to put his big stamp on the organization. Now, there's certainly been changes. He's actually changed quite a bit behind the scenes. The non-football stuff, made a ton of hires over there. He's reorganized.
On the financial side of things.
Yeah, the business side of things, and then the PR side of things. There's been major changes too. And Ted Cruz coming over from the Chiefs. Not not that Ted Cruz, the other Ted Cruz.
The Chiefs Ted Cruz.
He now, is in his official title is like special advisor to the president or something like that. So there have been changes, but we all know what this is about at the end of the day, right? It's about what happens on Sunday with the football team and can they win and where are they going to play those games, right? And we all know that when this whole thing started, the number one thing he was brought here to do, besides, hopefully direct this team to winning football games, was the stadium. Right, Carm?
That's right. And listen, Team Chicago, right here, for life, have wanted it. Kevin, my man, I'm ready to throw in the towel.
Whoa, I was not expecting this.
I mean, listen, I want him to be in Chicago. I know you want him to be in Chicago, Kevin. I know there's a lot of people that want him to be in Chicago because Chicago's the greatest city on the planet. But I think it's pretty obvious by the energy that how much you've tried for this and how little it's moved. Like, I would have thought we would have had some big story that Governor Pritzker has had a great meeting with Kevin Warren and they're working on a win-win situation. We haven't heard that ever. It's there's no interest. That keeps on going, which is super disappointing because the state and the city, you need to be a little smarter. What are you going to do with that albatross on the lakefront? You're going to have to tear it down. It's going to cost millions of dollars. Like, you are where broke as can be. Everyone's taxes are going way up. Owning the city. You guys should be making a smart business decision versus doing something out of pride and whatever else, the friends of the park and everything they're driving. Look, but that's not happening. So, dude, by your own admission in one of your press conferences, Kevin, it's costing the Bears $150 to $200 million a year each year that you kick this down the road, and you're looking at steel prices and all these things. If I was George McCaskey, I would be doing like John Mara in Hard Knocks, knocking on the door. Where's this at? Where are we? George, I know you gave the keys to Kevin, and that's cool, and everyone was happy about it because Lord knows you weren't getting it done in that position. But you still are George McCaskey. Your last name is McCaskey. I would be asking some questions. What's the end game here? At some point, you got to move forward here. And the sooner the Bears get their stadium done, you would hope that ultimately it would help them as far as budgets and whatnot, and maybe they could pay $15 million for some big-time head coach to turn this thing around rather than hiring the next Matt Eberflus, Mark Trestman, John Fox, and Dick Geron, whoever else I'm missing. So I just think you have to live in reality. And the Bears have been living in some false reality for a long time.
Well, and I think that part of what's been going on here the last 2 years is they have been in a staring contest with Arlington Heights over this tax agreement. And so what does it hurt while you're not coming to a resolution with them to make it look like to Chicagoans that you're not just deserting them? And so you keep this PR thing going. We're like, hey, we're really trying to stay in the city for you guys because we're not just running off and abandoning you, but we did everything we could to make it work.
Well,
so it's been this slow-moving divorce, and now you finally get to this point where a tax agreement has happened. I felt like that announcement yesterday was like, with the Bears saying, we filed the paperwork and we've made this agreement, but we still want to be in Chicago. It felt like to me that was like, well, we've agreed to our terms of divorce, but we're still working on things and we still live together.
Well, it's what I've been telling you guys all along, and it's leverage versus leverage. Okay, so the Bears use their amazing ideas in the city and that big, large press conference they called the day before the draft to get everybody excited about something that wasn't really realistic, but to get this resolved with Arlington Heights. And while this is being announced in November, almost at the end of November, this has been coming for a few months now. Carm's been on top of this. Carm reported a few months ago that it was moving in this direction with
our
Arlington
intrepid
Heights.
stadium reporter,
right.
Mark Carm.
That's right.
But now they do it the opposite way because all you got to do is follow the language because 7-8 months ago, no, we're focused on the city. We're focused on the city. Now you read the official statement that got released yesterday, And the Bears remain focused on investing over $2 billion to build a publicly owned enclosed stadium on Chicago's lakefront while reevaluating the feasibility of a development in Bronzeville. That's new information in the last 2 weeks, by the way. All of a sudden, this idea of the what was his name that you researched? Your guy?
You're talking
the area in Bronzeville that it's way too small to build a stadium, but they're going to somehow miraculously build a stadium there.
Yeah, you were talking about Michael Reese. Is that
yes?
Yeah.
Okay. That being said, we remain significant landowners in Arlington Heights and establishing a framework for potential future development planning, financing, and property tax certainly has been a priority since the land was purchased.
This is the last sentence that actually matters.
We continue to have productive conversations with the village and school districts and are aligned on a framework should we choose to explore a potential development. That is a change in tune over what we've had over the last, I don't know, I'm losing track now, but basically a year of them being like city. The door is now reopened. And, of course, why has it reopened? Because probably between the start of the calendar year 2025 and the end of May, when you get into your key crucial legislative session downstate, they got to get that figured out if there's going to be any funding whatsoever. So now you use this leverage you have in Arlington Heights to say, hey, last chance, Chicago, Illinois, lawmakers, whatever. Otherwise, and so I expect this to probably have a direction and a final spot, hopefully, by the end of May.
But they will make this announcement the day they fire Matt Eberflus. That'll be they'll throw it in.
But the thing about the tax thing here is, I mean, penny wise, pound foolish. Like, okay, it's good job, Bears. You got the taxes down, but we're talking about like $6 million. $6 million, zillions of money to everybody on this set. $6 million to the Bears makes zero difference in anything.
That's not true. That's not true. This was a total political move by Arlington Heights and the tax assessor there. They were valuing an empty lot of land higher than what it was when there was a fully functioning racetrack there. It made no sense whatsoever.
I'm not saying they weren't right. They were within their.
But I don't care who you are, or how much money you have. If you're being taken advantage of, you're going to fight it.
Yeah, that's
fine. You're gonna do a tax appeal, no matter who you are, when they're trying to take money that they shouldn't be taking.
Fair enough. Great, you won. Good job. The Arlington Heights was trying to get over on you, although not really, because at some point here they are going to build.
But that's fine, but not when it's an empty sheet of land. Wait till there's actually a stadium there, then tax the hell out of them.
How's this? I think
because then the Bears will have the money flowing to be able to pay it.
I understand, but in my utopian world of let's help out the people that need the help in this world. Yeah, we're not going to be sweating that type of dollars right now. We're happy to help out the school district down there because we do own that land, and it's sweet that we can give back and get some extra sweet computers and/or basketball, football, whatever courts for those for people that can use them.
And
wouldn't have been the worst thing ever.
And another thing, watching the news report on this yesterday, and they were running some B-roll of the demolition team still clearing stuff out. I don't know if that's current video that was like from yesterday or if it's older video, because if they're not done demoing that, then we're milking this job, boys. We need to get this done.
I want to go back out there and put the hat on again.
No, I'm pretty sure it's gone.
It must.
I drove by it like a few weeks ago. There's I was gonna say,
there. Mark Carmen would not approve of the milking of this job site.
That was an amazing day. Me and 7 rando reporters on, I think it was a Friday, being held at a gate before they would let us in to go stand there and put hard hats on to what do they call those things that demolish things there, Gregory?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Bulldozers?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Cranes?
Sure. But it wasn't whatever. It was a big, very fancy piece of machinery that was just, and there was somebody
excavators?
With the hose. Yeah, we were all brought out to see that. There they are. They're tearing it down. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, you liked it.
I did. Well, I went to the barber shop across the street.
That's the thing. I mean, I've always, loved going to Soldier Field. I've never had a problem with it as others do. I understand all the issues with it. Getting into Southgate, finding parking, leaving the stadium. It's all a nightmare. But
somehow
it's been our nightmare. And I've always been partial to Soldier Field, and I do love it. But obviously, logistically for fans, it is not a very great stadium experience, and that's why this needs to be a significant upgrade. And if you look at what they planned when we went and saw their plans for Arlington Heights, if you've ever seen that plot of land, there's a lot of potential for this to be something that Bears fans can really wrap their arms around and enjoy. It would be something that we truly deserve as a fan base. We deserve a lot of things on the field, but the least they can do is build this Bears Landia and put some things in there that can make the game day experience enjoyable.
Just for those of you who need creature comforts, and I recommend the nice comfort of your couch. It's a good place for you. Those of you who don't mind your knee being in the back of the chair in front of you and a good smell of urine, that's the fan that I want to go to the game with.
All right, we got more on. That was weird. We got more on Kevin Warren here because there's some other things he has to take care of probably sooner. But first, I'll tell you about the Black Friday sales event going on all month long at Ray Chevrolet, where you can score door-buster deals on your next vehicle without the door-busting stress. Head in today to shop their huge selection of new Chevy models with special Black Friday prices. Right now, take $3,250 up to $3,000 off MSRP on most Chevy models, or shop over 125 of their vehicles priced under $20,000. As one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories. Visit our partner this November at their location on Route 12 in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. And if you've heard of Ray Chevrolet, you've also heard of Ray's Price Promise. They're guaranteed to make your next vehicle more affordable than ever with no price changing, no add-ons, or no hidden fees ever. You can shop the Black Friday sales event all month long by visiting Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive.
And a shout out to our friends at ComEd. You know, Gregory, ComEd can help businesses save money by becoming more energy efficient.
I did not know that ComEd did that.
Well, yes, indeed. It's the Energy Efficiency Program. It can help you find up to 35% in energy savings.
Wow. So what should business owners have to do, your sweet Bippy?
They should just sign up for a free facility assessment. Do it now at ComEd.com/biz.
So why aren't more businesses and business owners like myself doing it?
Perhaps they have the attention issues that you have. No, or they just forgot the website. ComEd.com/biz. 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 Write it down. Mark it down. Live that dream. That should get her done right there.
Yeah. ComEd.com/biz. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customer's energy usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
Speaking of Black Friday sales events, we got our own, and we got to tell you about it right now because it has already started. If you are a CHGO diehard, the diehard exclusive Black Friday sale on all of our awesome merch is underway. It'll go today and tomorrow before it is open to everybody. But if you want to jump in this early, make sure you're guaranteed some of the merch you want in the sizes you want. You should be a CHGO diehard. 30% off right now. So all this merch, we're all rocking some merch today. Look at us. Look at us. I got the
CHGO Blackhawks gear on. They've got some of our best designs here. Look at that. Look at that. It's tight.
Yep.
The guy Greg Boyson's over here. Josh Matthews was the name I wasn't thinking of. Josh Matthews.
So let me tell you something. This sweatshirt is the most comfortable, beautifully fitting.
We're trying to sell it.
This sweatshirt's awesome.
He's doing it. That's what he's doing.
That made me disgusted.
I mean, it was a little bit of a weird thing that I just did. I'm not going to lie. I don't know where that came from, but this thing is amazing. I love this sweatshirt. I'm like, this one's been there available for a long time. Maybe I should wear something of the newer variety, like the 85 shirts, which are sweet. But, like, this thing is so good. Everyone needs one.
Get the air it out shirt after watching Caleb Williams drop 350 yards. Come on now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I was distracted by Gary's comments. He's saying he doesn't see the Black Friday merch on the website.
Well, work harder.
Yeah, because just go to store.allcitynetwork.com. It just applies to everything already in the store.
Uh-oh.
So that it's up there. Trust me. All the merch is there. Go to store.allcitynetwork.com. If you are a diehard, you can get your discount right now. Also, we mentioned Ray Chevrolet. Tomorrow we will be next door at Ray CDJR with a broadcast with those guys, live broadcast on site at Ray CDJR, Route 12 in Fox Lake. If you want to come by and hang out, it's a big week for them because they got the Jeeps on the Run event coming up on Sunday, which I'm going to be participating in. Guys, I got some lights. I got some decorations for my Jeep. We're gonna be in it. We're going all in. I'm excited. And Jeeps on the Run it's a huge charity event to benefit Toys for Tots. So everybody brings toys. Obviously, great holiday charity, and they're also selling raffle tickets if you'd like to possibly get a brand new Jeep Wrangler, which is being 100% donated by Ray CDJR, and those raffle tickets are $20 each. I bought 5 of them because I would like a Wrangler.
Yeah, that's an amazing event that they do. I'm super excited that you're a part of that, Hoge.
Come out to Fox Lake tomorrow, and then you can find out all about all that.
And also, the service department at Ray is phenomenal. I'm getting an oil change there tomorrow, 11:15, pregame oil change. Anybody who comes out tomorrow and shakes my hand and says, Carm, oil change, I'll pay for your next oil change at Ray. Yep, that's it. I'm doing it. Oil change on Carm. You come out, you got to shake my hand and say, Carm, I love you, and I want an oil change. Yes, love. I need a love. Like you, minorly. Why am I getting weird looks?
I'm not giving.
Gary will be at Fox Lake tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you guys need to come out and hang out with me and Gary, Carm, Hoge, Steven, the whole crew. It's going to be fun.
All right.
You buying popcorn? They've got popcorn there. It's good popcorn.
Always get good popcorn there.
Excellent popcorn. Good water.
Excellent
Service
coffee.
Amazing. Yeah. All right,
I'll probably get my service done while I'm there. Might as well. All right. So, by the way, we got ODK coming up here in a little bit. I got some plays from Sunday's loss to the Vikings I want to show you. But so here's what back to the Kevin Warren conversation, and obviously everyone's kind of waiting like, hey, man, what's going on with this stadium? Is this ever happening? Now, I'm guessing when he took this job, he was not anticipating that he, might be in a situation like he's in now where decisions need to be made on head coach, possibly GM, but I don't anticipate a change of GM. But I think if you're the team president, you are thinking about these things right now. You might even be doing your due diligence on some head coaching candidates right now. I hope you are. So back to this idea of when is Kevin Warren going to put his big stamp on the Chicago Bears? The Bears have lost 5 games in a row. I don't know if you guys are aware.
Keep going.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware.
They're
curious.
playing the Detroit Lions, who I don't know if you guys are aware of this. They've won 9 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Not happy about it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Keep laying it out, Hoge.
And it could get ugly on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's this whole thing about how, the Bears have never fired a coach in season. And, if I had to pick, pick the future that I envision, I imagine that'll stay the same, quite frankly. But this comes back to Kevin Warren because Kevin Warren is new here. And he's in charge. And is something going to be different? If these messages coming out of Halas Hall, the way players continue to question some of these coaching decisions and things, it just makes you wonder that, you go into, and we've certainly been in these situations before, and nothing's happened. I have woken up many Mondays and sometimes Fridays after these Thursday games wondering, maybe a little mini buy here. Maybe this is when you make a change. And it doesn't happen until, the Black Monday in January when the season's officially over. But I do wonder if Kevin Warren's role in this, maybe a big swing from up top, comes sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I have the same wonder. I don't think it's happening either, even though, there's just some hypothesizing that, Kevin likes to put his stamp on things and things are different, and this would be the first time, and it would be a way for him to just say, hey, we are a different organization with me in charge. However, listen, I hope that if they are going to keep Matt Eberflus till the end of the year, the reason is not about, well, this is just not what we do, but they think that this is the best thing for Caleb because Thomas Brown is in this position over here, and that looks good after 2 games. We don't want to upset the apple cart there. We don't have anybody else that we really feel comfortable sticking in the position. We don't want to go outside. So as less than inspiring as it is, we think that for this year and the development of the QB, Matt Eberflus is actually our best option versus this is what we do. We're the Bears and we're just going to stay the same. Because if that's the reason, that ain't great.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody knows my feelings on this. I think the Bears would be absolutely crazy to not do what they logically should have done 3 weeks ago, and that's fire Matt Eberflus in the event that the Bears get mollywopped by the Detroit Lions on Thursday. You have an extended week that sets up on a silver platter for you to try to make this decision and reorganize the coaching staff to get yourself ready for your last 5 games of the year. And passing on that opportunity, in my opinion, would be very unwise for a few different reasons. One, I think we felt like even after the first loss of this losing streak that Matt Eberflus was starting to lose the locker room. Imagine how it could feel as you get into December and you go from a 4-2 team to a 4-8 team. How are the veterans still following the hits philosophy and not letting go of the rope? Because all fans care about, all that matters is the development of Caleb Williams. Well, tell that to Keenan Allen. Tell that to all the veterans on the defense, right? So these guys, it's going to be really hard for Matt Eberflus to, give the rally cry to keep putting their best foot forward. And then on top of that, reason number 2 being you have an opportunity to have Thomas Brown have a true audition. It's a unique situation where somebody that you could potentially be considering to be your head coach, you can give an actual audition to. You want to hire Ben Johnson after the year, sure, but you have no idea how he does on your Bears sideline. Thomas Brown, you could do that right now. And right now he's doing a great job up in the booth, and you don't really want to mess that up, so I understand the timing isn't ideal, but putting him down on the sidelines and seeing how he operates as the head coach, handling the entire team, still being able to call plays and develop the quarterback is reason number 2. Reason number 3 are some of the coaches that are available right now. Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, Pete Carroll. You want to get ahead of the 9 to 12 teams that are going to fire their coaches at the end of the year and start putting your hat in the ring for different coaching prospects and start feeling out what you want to do as an organization. You can't leave any stone unturned, and by delaying the inevitable of firing Matt Eberflus is doing you more harm than good, in my opinion.
Well, and here's the biggest concern if I was Kevin Warren.
By the way, you can start to do that anyway.
Yeah, right.
I understand, but you can be more deliberate with Matt Eberflus out the door.
Mike, listen, if I'm Kevin Warren and I'm looking at this, hold on a second. Let's rewind back to last year whereby, most people say that Warren wanted to move on, but Poles wanted to keep Flus. And, I don't know. Was Ryan Poles the only person in the state of Illinois / the football world that thought they should stick with Matt Eberflus going into next year? I know that. I don't know how I'd have to rewind the tape to see exactly what we said, but that was a pretty safe, conservative, and kind of bizarre decision for somebody in that room to be like, I'm sticking with this guy with Caleb coming in, but he did. And now, if you are moving on, and let me rewind back. You'll let the guy hire the weirdo that was Shane Waldron that literally. We had the interview with Jackson Smith and Jigba. I heard Jared Payton on the radio today talk about, I talked to some people about it. I knew right away this was a problem. Yet they went and hired him. If I was Kevin Warren, hearing that, I would have a real problem with that.
It's one of the worst hires in Bears history.
It
is.
And now you're gonna go hire the coach? That's
where bringing this conversation full circle. I'm just wondering, stadium, coach, maybe beyond that, when eventually it feels like this is going to happen, where Kevin Warren inserts himself. And it just really doesn't feel like it's happened yet. We got to take another time out. We got my ODK coming up next.
Yes.
First, we're going to tell you about CHSN because we are sponsored by Chicago Sports Network. The new home of the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox games, CHSN will broadcast more than 300 live games per year across the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox, and will feature a full lineup of original Chicago-focused sports content. They are Chicago-based, Chicago-built, and Chicago to the core. They're bringing it to every corner of Chicago across our 77 neighborhoods and beyond. At CHSN, Chicago comes first. Visit chsn.com for more info on how to watch the Bulls, Hawks, and Sox games all season long.
And a shout out to our friends at Empire Today, where you get shop at home convenience and the right product for your flooring needs. Quick and professional installation and a low price guarantee. They are the standard that you're looking for, the best place to get new flooring. And what they do, they come out to your house, they service you in your home, they look at what you got going on, and they'll lay it out for you. They pride themselves on that convenient shop-at-home service, helping customers shop for floors where they use their floors so you can see exactly what the new floors are going to look like with your home's lighting, your decor, the whole thing. Make an informed decision. It's a beautiful service. I highly recommend it. Plus, you get a $350 discount. So this is what you do. You schedule a free home estimate today, $350 discount when they use the promo code CHGO. Restrictions do apply. See EmpireToday.com/CHGO for details. Shout out to our friends at Empire Today.
All right, let's get to my weekly ODK. That's offense, defense, kicking. Carm. We're actually gonna skip the defense this week.
Really? No D?
Yeah.
Can't believe that.
Steven giggled there.
No D. Wow.
Yeah,
It's too bad.
Let's try to stay positive for the most part. Everybody's been wondering about Thomas Brown, what kind of wrinkles he might be bringing to the table. We saw this in the first quarter, and I want to talk about that right now as we go to the tape. Again, we cannot show you video, so stick here with the screenshots. We show you as many as possible.
You don't need video with Hoge ODK.
Yeah. Guys, we are amazingly, you don't see this a whole lot as Greg opens up a pop over there. Why don't you just put it in front of the microphone?
Yeah, just. Can we get a one shot on this?
No, we are in the ODK. Don't take us off the rails. The Bears, guys, you don't see this a lot, are in one personnel. That means they technically have no running backs on the field and only one tight end, who is Cole Kmet, and he's going in motion over here.
Remember this
means
one.
Who's in the backfield? DJ Moore. Love the creativity. Guys, it's just time to accept, and it is not an insult at all. DJ Moore is a unique wide receiver. He is not your typical number one X-type wide receiver. One of the big adjustments I think we've seen in the last couple of weeks is Thomas Brown using him in better ways. Just get him the ball in space, closer to the line of scrimmage, let him do his thing.
14 of 14, Caleb Williams to DJ Moore over the last two games.
Yeah. Think it has anything to do with the OC switch? I don't know. So let's, again, Cole Kmet going in motion, which gives us a little tell. Remember, with all this exotic defense with the Vikings, nobody moved here. And if we go to the next frame, Cole Kmet's going to turn around and go back this way. Nobody's moving. So that tells us, guys, we are in zone. And they're just going to give DJ Moore a little pitch here. Little pitch to set this up. Let's look at the blocking scheme again with all the wide receivers on the field. They got DeAndre Carter. DeAndre Carter is going to have this little seal block here with Darnell Wright coming around him. Cole Kmet in motion across the field is going to come all the way down to this cornerback. You got Roma Dunze, one of your better blockers here as well. And this thing is actually set up really well designed for a big running play here for DJ Moore. We go to the next frame, and you can see Roma Dunze's got his block. Cole Kmet's getting out here. Darnell Wright is doing what I would call more like just hunt the most dangerous man who could possibly make the tackle. You got a double team here between Braxton Jones and Tevin Jenkins. Now, that actually is important because that's the biggest reason why this play didn't go for more is because two guys on a linebacker there couldn't actually get their block done. Otherwise, this would have been an even bigger play. So we go to the next frame here. DJ Moore is essentially running into Matt Pryor. I'm sorry, that was correct myself. That was Matt Pryor and Tevin Jenkins on that double team, not Braxton Jones. Braxton Jones behind the play on the backside. But yeah, Matt Pryor's in the way. Tevin Jenkins is on the ground. Regardless, not every play is going to be blocked perfectly. And again, we're just talking about the design here with DJ Moore getting him the ball. This turned out to be an explosive run play, which was good. Now, first play of the next drive. Okay, we always talk about plays on plays. Again, similar personnel, although a little different. They're actually in 2 personnel on this one. Okay, so they take one of the wide receivers off the field. They have 2 tight ends out there, but there's still no running backs. DJ Moore, once again, is your running back. And now you got Cole Kmet in more of a fullback role here in the backfield. So if you're reading this from your defense, you're going, oh, okay, they just got us on a play to DJ Moore. We need to be alert here. DJ Moore's back there in the backfield. But Thomas Brown, he's not going straight to the well with the same exact thing. No, different formation, and it ends up being a different play. So again, creativity, but not being stagnant at the same time. So DJ Moore's going to go in quick motion out, and then he's going to come back around, similar to how he got the ball last time on a running play. But this time, it's play action, okay? This is a throw. And what the Bears are going to do, they're going to have a clear out with Rome Odunze, and then they're going to have Keenan kind of going on this little flag corner here, which is what they're trying to hit. Now, the guy you want to watch here defensively for the Vikings is my guy, Van Ginkel. Okay? We told you about him before the game. We talked about him after the game. Now, his eyes are on DJ Moore. He's responsible for DJ Moore. And with this play action, you're ideally want to suck him down there. And then with that clear out route from Rome Odunze, again, going here, you want this space to be wide open for Keenan Allen. To Van Ginkel's credit, he does not bite very hard on DJ Moore.
Whatever, Van Ginkel.
And you could see that in this frame right here. He's back here. And this is pretty wild for me because if I'm looking at this from this angle,
you would think he's throwing in the flat there, right?
I'm checking his ball down to DJ Moore here.
Right.
But Van Ginkel's got his guys. You know, he's got both situations kind of covered. This is well played by the defense. But so I would call this good on good. Now we go behind Caleb Williams here to give you an idea of what he's looking at. Okay, in this same exact moment, again, Van Ginkel is right here. So there's 2 scenarios here for Caleb Williams. Either he's turning into Tom Brady before our eyes, and he knows, right, that DJ Moore's headed this way, and Van Ginkel's he's got to widen out with DJ Moore. He's still responsible. So he is backpedaling towards those numbers in this moment. And he's got his eyes here on Keenan, still hoping he's going to come open here. So either he knows that, or maybe more likely because he's a rookie, he's not really seeing Van Ginkel here.
Right.
Either way, Caleb Williams, really good at playing football.
He rips that right to Keenan.
He somehow rips this right in there. Let me back that up for you so you can actually see.
Choke on that, Van Ginkel.
I mean, I still don't know how that ball got through there. And again, I go back to the play design. Van Ginkel, even though he didn't bite on the fake hard, he still had to be held flat-footed there for a little bit. And without that, this ball's probably picked. So the play design still pays off here. Caleb uses his raw talent, arm strength to fire that ball in there. This turns into, because once that ball gets through, Van Ginkel's on the ground.
Sit down, Ginkel.
Keenan's now got all this space down the sideline, and we fast forward to the end of the play. Look at everybody else. Yeah, it's a first down. Look at Carm's guy right here. Oh, he's so excited.
Great point by Bajan.
See, that's the type of teammate we're talking about right there.
Yeah. Bajan's excited.
Pizzatola called him Van Stinkle. I like that.
Hey, look, guys, first of all, it starts with the play design. I love what Thomas Brown was doing here. And then sometimes players are going to make plays. In this case, I think the Vikings played that pretty well. Caleb Williams, just better with his arm talent.
Yep.
Now, should he probably check that ball down to DJ Moore? Yeah, probably. But, hey, when you're really good, you get away with it sometimes.
Johnny Sins called him Van Tinkle.
You know who would underline this moment in time, too, by the way? those three guys all pointing.
Yeah.
That'd be your guy, Matt Eberflus. See, our guy, we're playing hard. We're together.
Don't
Everybody's
ruin this great Caleb
I'm
Williams
telling you.
breakdown with.
All right.
Matt
Well, I'm going to
Eberflus
ruin
stuff.
it anyway by talking special teams.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so this is the blocked field goal, and again, we're seeing, some similar stuff going on here. Essentially, 3-on-2 right here, and then also 3-on-2. They're targeting this left side of the Bears line, which has proven to be an issue here the last couple weeks. Fast forward to the moment this kick is blocked, which you can see right there, and it was well done by the Vikings here because they actually have a guy you can hardly see in here who is super low, pushing these guys back.
illegal.
While these two, well, no, he's not. They're not pushing each other. He's pushing. In this case, it turns out to be Braxton Jones, just straight backwards, but low man wins, right? So they got kind of the guy who gets super low, and then the two guys that go up high to block it. Is the kick low again? Yeah, but you got to be stouter up front. And what's interesting here, so they've been targeting Matt Pryor in recent weeks, so he's here. But really, it's Braxton Jones who gets backed up here. I'm going to show you this from the other angle. So this is at the start of the play. When the rush starts, ball is just being put down here by Torrey Taylor. There's not a whole lot of time, guys, between this moment where the ball's being put down and when the ball's actually being kicked by Cairo. Look at the block point. How far back Braxton Jones has been pushed back here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so should the Bears have made some corrections? Because the personnel there is all the same other than Tevin Jenkins, who returned from injury.
Yep.
But on the left side, the personnel's still the same. Okay, so we go to the next kick.
Is this the last kick of the game?
No, but the Bears made adjustments, okay? Because Darnell Wright, who was over here before, is now here. And Braxton Jones is off the field. So Braxton Jones lost his spot on field goal after the block. Jake Curran now has replaced Darnell Wright over there on the right side. So at least the Bears did make an adjustment here. And Darnell Wright, you could just see it. He's lower. He just blocks better in this situation. He doesn't lose his ground. So at least the Bears did make an adjustment here. Now, this is the one at the end of the game.
I love this with Tevin Jenkins.
Oh, where he's punishing the jumpers right here?
He's holding two guys with his bare arms.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Now, what I thought was interesting here and worth pointing out, because while adjustments were made, Darnell Wright's back over here now on this last one. And Jake Curran is on his knees because number 61 for the Vikings here actually did a really good job. He bluffed his rush and then went back. And meanwhile, that caused Jake Curran to lunge forward, and he fell down on his knees, and this guy came right through and almost blocked this. Now, I will say a lot of people have pointed out and showed some video that this was almost blocked. If you actually look at it from the back angle, it's not actually as close as it looks like to getting blocked. So sometimes with these, there's a little bit of depth perception issues. But I just wanted to point out the personnel that was on the field to start the game when the ball got blocked. The Bears did make some changes, and even within the game, because that last kick I showed you was on the right hash, they put Darnell Wright to the left. This one's on the left hash, they put Darnell Wright to the right, and it's still an issue. I guess the reason why I'm showing you this last one is to illustrate the Bears are still having some problems here with their offensive line personnel.
Yep.
There's not a whole lot of options to go to. They put Jake Curran out there, and this one almost got blocked too. So they got to come up with some answers, but they got less than 48 hours now between right now and kickoff against the Lions on Thanksgiving.
I mean, I would just lean into Curran because, as we've mentioned on the show before, he did famously go to Jewish summer camp similar to me, and that's why he should be on that unit. That's a great job by you, Hoge. Fantastic performance.
Well, and I think the other part where you talk about sorry.
And I'm sorry.
He was complimenting me. Can you let him finish, please?
I just wanted to ask the question.
Finish the compliment. Respect the compliment.
Listen, well, here's the question. It's to both of you, because I think we all appreciate Richard Hightower and how hard he works and his energy and his want for his guys to do well. But how much do you look at that situation and wonder why he didn't get to whatever solution he was going to get to quicker?
So when I saw that play live, I was like, all right, they've been targeting Pryor he's the one that basically gave up the block last week. How is he still in there? But then when you go back and watch the film and you realize it was actually Braxton Jones next to him.
Like there just aren't any real good answers, basically.
And so at least they made the change in the middle of the game, and there weren't any blocks from that point on. It's a tough spot to be in, man. It's when you I don't want to be too hard on the players, but like you're starting to run out of personnel up there.
Yeah, ultimately you got to make a play. Okay.
It's not the most complicated technique. Now, it's not fun being on a field goal team. Those are the true trenches. Like everybody, I showed you at the beginning on that first frame. It's 3-on-2 on both of those guys on the outside. So you got to find a way to block 3 guys, but you're also 2 massive human beings as offensive linemen. And we're talking about usually in the NFL, we're talking about the snap to kick, snap, hold, kick operation, 1.3 seconds.
Right.
Dude, you got to get your foot in the ground, anchor down, and hold it for 1.5 seconds max. 1.5 seconds is bad, okay, if it even takes that long. So what they're at, it's not a fun job. Nobody really wants to do it. Cole talked about this a little bit on the 85 last week, but it's still a job that needs to be done because you can't be having these kicks blocked.
I think you could do it after you're all full and healthy.
No,
Gregory.
I refuse. Well, and I think it bears repeating. I brought it up on the postgame show. Kalen Kaler's reporting at Soldier Field in the Vikings locker room, talking to several Vikings players about the field goal blocks. Santos' low kicks came up again. So it's not just an offensive line issue on the field goal blocks. It's the trajectory of Cairo Santos kicks. And teams are now emphasizing getting that inside push, overloading that middle, because they, as Theo Jackson said, we don't really cover too many kickers that have this type of low trajectory. So I think they're really dialing in and understanding, okay, this is where the height of the ball is as it's coming across this point of the line of scrimmage. If we can get to this marker on the field and get our hands up, we have a really good chance of blocking the ball. So, I think it also has a lot, not just to do with the offensive line, but with the trajectory in which Cairo Santos kicks.
And I know Hightower was talking today. I am interested to I can't get the Halas this week. I at some point I want to talk to Cairo about that because I don't know if you guys noticed his kick, it looked different. The last couple.
It was like left
even the one he made at the end, it like went way left and came back. So I don't know if he was trying to slightly kick it differently. And again, I do think that last one, he got a little bit of a higher trajectory on it. Because, again, I know it looks like from that back angle it was almost blocked, but if you look at it from the Vikings end zone side of it, it was above that hand. It cleared. So as a kicker, you're certainly working on that.
Nicholas Moreano is going to be coming up at some point here, I believe, from Halas Hall if we have time to get him in. So that's coming up. But first, as we digest everything here, yep, there we go. We got a third one for you today, and we've got our friends at Sunnyside, which is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping. Shout out to our friends at Sunnyside, one of our great supporters here. 100 strains to choose from, easy online ordering, in-store pickup, favorite dispensary in Illinois, locations all across the city, Wrigleyville, River North, suburbs, Champaign, South Beloit, and more, and of course online as well. They've got the Good News Island Vibes, which is new. That's for the next level staycations, which I think a lot of people are going to be doing now as they try to keep the money in the bank, if you will. Destination relaxation, that's cool too if you are traveling. And the Good News Island Vibes are beautiful. Puff Puff Paradise. How do you do it? You visit sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day, and you'll get 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Enter that promo code HICHGO at checkout, and you will qualify. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Bright buys every day, only for 21 and older or Illinois medical card holders.
That's right. I want to give a shout out to Shady Rays, the best in the business. Get ready for the winter ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures. I was rocking my Shady Rays at the tailgate here on Sunday. We've been graced with some great weather here for each of our tailgates. Shady Rays helps keep the sun out my eyes. They have hundreds of options to choose from, so you're bound to find the perfect pair to match your style. They definitely have the style to match your favorite team's colors, including the Bears. Plus, if your shades ever go missing or take an unexpected hit, don't sweat it. They have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair is backed by lost or broken replacements. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code CHGO for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
All right, keeping things moving, as we will hear from Nicholas Moreano when he gets done with his duties over there at Halas Hall. I know they're still talking to some of the coaches and locker room availability and all that. So, guys, we got, like I mentioned there at the end of ODK, less than 48 hours to go till kickoff.
I know.
It's a quick week. Yes, Carter.
Well, just dovetailing, if you will, Hoge, off of the field goal kicking unit. It's just out there. People know. Attack. Yeah. They're good, and it's the same thing with the Lions and the Bears. People know the Bears can't stop the run anymore. Attack.
Yeah.
So, like, are you going to be able to slow down David Montgomery, your guy? Are you going to be able to slow down Jahmyr Gibbs? It's out there now.
Can I bring? Shouldn't your starting left tackle be able to hold his ground on a field goal?
Should.
Look, they drafted. I think this is a real story. I mean, they somewhat surprisingly drafted a tackle in the 3rd round, and now it hasn't gone well. Karan Amagaji. By the way, he was not on the injury report yesterday. I don't know if you noticed that.
There we go. He's back healthy, baby. Let's go, Amagaji.
So
my guy.
That is a possibility. Maybe he's somebody who can help on field goal. But these are all part of the evaluations that go into the future of a player. And I'm just saying that Braxton Jones getting. Well, now, here's the thing. I don't know. No. Does he have an injury that's preventing him from doing that type of blocking compared to offense out there? I don't know. These are all things that sometimes you don't have. If you go back to the first extra point of the game, Cole Kmet wasn't out there because he got banged up on the touchdown.
Right. I mean, Nathaniel B just put in the chat, Braxton is notorious for not being able to block a bull rush. Like that's been a whole thing.
True.
It's a true story right there. Like he said it himself. He needs to work on his anchor. So he's not the ideal candidate to be doing this. It's partly because the Bears are banged up front. I mean, you need some big anchors for that job. And his body type is not that. He's more broad-chested than sort of big anchored, if you will.
Let's check out our super chats and kind of see what everybody has to say today on this Tuesday. We'll start with Michael Renouf, 199, saying
K-God.
K-God.
Instead of Caleb Williams.
Is that what people are calling him?
That's some people
K-God?
are calling him. It's not the best nickname.
We can work on that. But
K-God Williams. K-God Williams is the answer to Warren's prayers.
Well, you know what, Michael? That's a great point because sadly that might be the Bears' only hope. Just please save us, Caleb. Because, the Chiefs were a terrible organization for a long, long time, and then a guy by the name of Patrick Mahomes showed up. I'm not saying that he's going to be Patrick Mahomes, obviously. But sometimes when you're an organization in the wilderness, you need somebody like that to get you out of it.
Chav, 199, next 85. Can you ask if the team addressed DJ's blocking?
Isn't there a live show tonight?
Yeah, there is. 7 o'clock tonight. We're going live.
Yes.
That's a big-time move right there. Cole Kmet's live tonight at 7 o'clock. You would think he's got something better to do than hang out with you, even though it's his own show.
I'm going to send in a super chat.
I'm hanging out with him.
Yeah, I'm gonna send in a super chat and ask him to address his drop. I don't appreciate that.
He'll love that.
Cole.
Yeah, he'll be so excited about that one coming in.
I hate that.
Unacceptable. One drop a year.
You will
Too
not
many
do
drops
that.
a year.
You will not do that. The dude has been so good. He's allowed to drop
We
one.
expect perfection here at CHGO.
You just tell him as I tell him
We
every.
do?
I hate that I just enabled super chats on the 85. We could officially do that, but please don't.
Just know that I do hope you ask him tonight about his. I mean, it looked like he had a significant dent to the backside there that was going to hold him out.
Yeah, right in his tailbone.
You want me to ask him about his backside?
Just
Right
talk
in his,
about how tough he is.
right when he
We do that
he
every
got
week.
hit in his sweet bippy.
He got cracked in the sweet bippy. Dude was right back out there. Somebody cracked me in my sweet bippy like that, I wouldn't be back out there for a month.
Andy Peterson, $2. If they build it, they will come.
You're right about that, Andy. That's why there's Richton Park and Aurora and Naperville and Waukegan and every other town in this world that's trying to get him to come there. Rockford, we're close enough.
That's right.
So down Rockford.
Should we go to Nick?
Let's go to. It's like Professor Nick today. Looks very professional.
Well, Jason Leisure called me a serial killer, so it's either one of those. I thought it was more professor, or it's more you're gonna go kill somebody. So there's a fine line between both of those, but I guess that comes with being very stylish.
Jason Leisure accusing anyone of coming off as a serial killer is rich.
All right.
If we had to rank who is most likely to be a serial killer in that room, he's up there.
Okay. Nick, let's go to Caleb and tell us the most interesting thing that the franchise had to say today, because he talked while we were talking, which was unfortunate for us.
Yeah, it was a very jam-packed day, but there's a lot from Caleb. And starting off, like just having this Thursday game, you guys, it's kind of thrown Caleb out of. We all know he's a big routine guy, right? And so this is like the first time where he's kind of thrown out of that routine with not having a Sunday or even a Monday game. But he said it is different, and even had a few mess ups in today's practice because he wasn't allowed to go over the fine details that he normally would, with it being like a Wednesday when he would typically practice and having a Tuesday to himself. So he's kind of getting acknowledged to, what the NFL schedule is like going forward when, the Bears will obviously play another Thursday night game this season, but he'll be a little bit more prepared next time. And he's just kind of going through the flow of things, trying to, get ready for this Thursday matchup against a very good Detroit Lions team. Another thing that he was asked, like, did he think that he passed the test from facing a guy like Brian Flores in that defense? And, he admitted that the defense did get him a few times, but, he said, like, once you get hit, you have to get back up. And then he kind of just forwarded it to the Detroit Lions game. But, just hearing from Thomas Brown, like, he said that he played without fear. I think when you watch the tape and some of those tight window throws from Caleb Williams, I think, we can all agree to that he played without fear and that he was doing his thing against the Minnesota Vikings last week.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry, that was my fault. I distracted Carmen.
Nick, you're doing a great job.
No,
That had
Nick,
nothing to do with you.
Might have had to do with Jason though. So was there any more fallout or any more details from? I don't know. I guess some of the things that went wrong on Sunday, the fourth down play, anything like that? Did we learn it? Like, I'm still a little confused why Caleb can't just call timeout there.
So I think it was Hightower that was asked about that 4th and 4 because obviously Cairo and some of the field goal unit was coming onto the field. And Richard, he basically said, like, hey, Matty Reflus already talked about that. He said that, he mentioned communication was something that could have been better on that play. He also said that Matty Reflus has a right to do and say whatever, he wants on that, but just, better communication. And I think that was like kind of the big point there on that 4th and 4. So obviously we've kind of heard, communication get brought up in, other instances, but that was kind of the main takeaway from that 4th and 4 play. Caleb wasn't asked about it, and neither was Thomas Brown. So the only person that was actually asked about it was Coach Hightower today.
Yeah, so Nick, I think the key to this game on Thursday is, dare I say that we are starting to get to a point where we know what we can expect from the offense, but I don't know what this defense will do. You know, they obviously are hurting, missing a guy like Andrew Billings, but you know, since the London game, they've given up over 350 total yards, 4 of the 5 games. They've given up over 450 yards in 2 of these 5 games, including against Minnesota here. So I'm just curious, you know, having a chance to talk to Eric Washington, what you heard from him on how they're going to contain this prolific Detroit Lions offense.
Yeah, I mean, look, Eric Washington started off his press conference just by really using the word prolific to describe this Detroit Lions, all the weapons, the offensive line, the quarterback, but said it's fueled by a strong rushing attack, a veteran group at the offensive line, receiving core that has great speed, possession players underneath, and also be targeted in the passing game when talking about both of the running backs. Like David Montgomery was catching passes in their win last week against the Colts, but it is a daunting task, and Eric Washington was asked about just some of those explosive plays that we've been seeing more and more of, especially the last 2 weeks against Green Bay and Minnesota. And Eric said, we'll just continue to work on it. You got to make sure you have some of the details on those things. And I think we're now going week 12, week 13, going in talking about the details. And Eric Washington was asked by Mark Potash, is that an issue that you're still talking about details this far into the season? And Eric, he really pushed back on that because he said it's not very unusual to kind of go, in his experience at least, it's not unusual to kind of reset things when things may not be working. So he wasn't too concerned about bringing up such fundamental things like going over the details. But look, you need to be on those details. Make sure you're on every single thing that you need to be when facing a Detroit Lions offense that can really do anything and attack you from anywhere.
Can we just go back to Thomas Brown for a second here, Nick, and just like any underlining of just the excitement of Caleb or what he's seeing from Caleb? Like I'm seeing just a ton of stuff on Twitter, just like this, he's not scratching the surface, all those things. Can you go further in depth of what he's seeing in his quarterback so far?
Yeah, he said that he hasn't scratched the surface, and one of the things that I thought was a key takeaway from Thomas Brown, like after watching that tape from Minnesota, he said it was obviously played without fear. He made some tight window throws, and not to be confused with reckless too. It's like there's a fine line between those, but yeah, that's where he said like he hasn't even scratched the surface of where he can be. And he was also asked about like the communication of between him and Caleb, because they're 3 weeks into really knowing each other since Thomas Brown took over as the offensive coordinator. But he said right when he was promoted essentially to being the offensive coordinator, had a one-on-one conversation with Caleb Williams. They had a mutual understanding and what they wanted out of each other. And he also said like his approach is different than some people because he is very direct. And he also said, like, hey, Caleb isn't a soft guy. Like, there are some people that are considered soft that wouldn't take his approach of communication the right way. That's not Caleb. He knows he can handle it. But he also said there's, like, some blind trust that they both need to have in each other, that he's going to make him better. Caleb's going to become a better player because of Thomas Brown. But he also says he knows how to push his buttons, but also knows how to motivate him at the same time. So, 3 weeks in, I think we're seeing that communication play out on the football field. They haven't gotten the wins that they wanted, but you're definitely seeing a more, I think, just a more direct Caleb Williams. He's being concise with what he wants to do on the football field and making some really good throws.
Obviously, a lot happened on special teams, both good and bad, on Sunday. Curious what Richard Hightower had to say about all of it.
Yeah, let's go to the blocked field goal because in the blocked field goal, you had Braxton Jones on that left side, but Hightower did say they made an adjustment, taking out Braxton, and then you put in Darnell Wright on that side, and that was an adjustment. And obviously had to be better on that block, but just that was made after the block field goal. So you put Darnell Wright in there to kind of solidify that side. And, Courtney Cronin was asking a question acknowledging that Braxton told her after the game that he played maybe too upright on his stance there. And, Hightower is like, Braxton doing a good job of, taking the blame, but really it's about the execution of the whole unit there. So Hightower did acknowledge that was the adjustment they made for the blocked field goal. But then Hightower went into really just praising his unit for what they were able to kind of do in the fourth quarter, not only with DeAndre Carter's, big kick return to set up the game-winning field goal or the game-tying field goal, but also the field goal unit coming in at that clutch time. But yeah, that adjustment was made. And, Darnell Wright, I guess, has told Hightower too, whatever you need, you put me out there at any moment, he's going to be ready to do whatever's asked of his coaching staff.
What about the muffed punt and or anything on the onside kick?
Yeah, so the muffed punt, again, Hightower really started off by saying that he loves DeAndre Carter. They've had a pass together at a previous stop, but he said his mindset, resiliency, determination, and he also shared like DeAndre Carter was a substitute teacher at one point, and he was substitute teaching while also going to practice, and that really showed Coach Hightower like the mindset that DeAndre Carter has. Maybe he kind of looked like me with his glasses look, but he was going out there and, being able to not only compete for an NFL job, but doing some substitute teaching on the same side. And he said it was just an unfortunate bounce in that DeAndre Carter was actually trying to protect, I forgot who was out in there near DeAndre Carter, but he's trying to protect his guy that was near him and took an unfortunate bounce and obviously hit Carter, and the Vikings take over and end up scoring a touchdown. And then really quickly on the onside kick, Hightower said that's been something they have been practicing twice a week for the last 2.5 years. And for it to come to fruition and play out the way it did, that just shows the execution, the commitment to doing this for 2.5 years. So he was really pleased by that, and obviously got the result that they wanted to in that exact moment.
Did he say they got lucky on it? Because, I mean, if the Vikings did not have to touch the football there. I'm assuming he did not.
No, he didn't say he got lucky. He's like it went exactly how they wanted it to go. And again, alluded to practicing it twice a week for the last 2.5 years.
I thought about breaking this one down too, but I figured we, had enough special teams. So what happens there is it hit Munt, right, the tight end. So his job there is to block the Bears guys that are coming at him, with Hawkinson technically being the returner there that's trying to field the ball. So you got those guys up front on the Vikings. They're trying to block the Bears. Now, if you watch, I forget who it was next to him. So Munt's over here on the left, and the guy next to him. The guy next to him recognizes that ball's not going 10 yards. So he stays where he is. He doesn't go forward to block the Bears player. But Munt did. He went forward, and so he engaged one of the Bears players in the block and basically put himself right in the path of that rolling ball. So, there was some luck involved there. That was, I'm sure, in the Vikings special teams meetings, they're going, hey, man, if it's obvious. Now, sometimes I'm sure that kick was supposed to go closer to 10 yards. By design, it might have been designed to go short because you're kind of hoping to put them in that conflict zone, and maybe they got to go for it. Maybe they don't. Maybe get a lucky bounce. I think that it was a matter of a player in that Vikings special teams room. You're going, hey, man, next time that ball's only going about 5-6 yards, you just stay back. You don't even go after it.
Yep.
I like that angle, though. Maybe it's say, hey, just put them in conflict. Ideally, it's going to be too hard for them to not come forward, and hopefully it'll hit them.
Well, and if they don't come forward, then you can, as it starts to roll forward, then that point of attack, as it does cross the barrier, obviously you'd need a lot of things to go right.
It's tough. There's a lot that goes on into an onside kick. I'm almost surprised we don't see more of them recover.
They're all by design, but there's a lot of luck that's involved.
100%.
In the bounce of the ball. That's what football is all about. Nick, before you go, we do have a little bit of breaking news crossing the Twitter landscape, and Bears Insider putting out some reporting, and I wanted to get your reaction to it. The Sears Tower is reporting that Eberflus is expected to remain as the Chicago Bears head coach for the remainder of the 2024 season, irrespective of how the team performs against the Lions. And so I just was curious, the Sears Tower, obviously,
people think of the Sears Tower as a burner account of some NFL exec. That's what people think.
Sears Tower reputation speaks for itself, and now he's out there reporting on Twitter that Eberflus stays no matter what. Your reaction to this huge news on Bears Twitter?
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. Didn't think I would be breaking down Sears Tower burner accounts, but I mean, it's out there. So that is what is going to happen. And actually, I kind of agree with the Sears Tower and what he's saying. Like, I think that Eberflus is here regardless of how the season plays out until the end here. I've always said if he is going to be fired, it would be in sometime in January. But the Sears Tower has spoken, and we must all listen. So that's all I got on that.
You got to respect the Sears Tower. If it was the Willis Tower, I would block the account.
Respect the tower, right? How you letting come on, guys, you three?
Tower's got
your
11.
Insider reporter. How you letting the Sears Tower jump you like this?
Tower's got 1,100 followers.
I've been pretty respectful to him. I've been calling him Mr. Tower. He added, Mr. Tower added the Flus is. He said the Flus is still. He's calling him the Flus. The Flus is still getting fired, folks. That's already been decided on Bears leadership. What difference does it make if it's now or in 5 games? I mean, this is what's going on, Hoge, and you need to take the Sears Towers reporting seriously, like the rest of us do on Bears Twitter.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we did a segment at the start of the show where we basically said the same thing that the Sears Tower said.
Yeah, well, it holds more weight when the Sears Tower puts it out there, okay?
Yeah, well, he's the Sears Tower.
All I know is that the Sears Tower is a great place to go. Back in the day.
Cornell Bryant, Bears Twitter is moron world.
I can't even get into Twitter right now. I got a new phone yesterday. It won't let me log in. It won't let me do anything. It's awesome.
I'm trying to tell you about the time that I did psychedelics and used the Sears Tower during the winter time as my place of solitude, because you need to be outside in those situations, but like it was the Sears Tower.
What in the name of Aaron Rodgers did you just say?
Yeah, no, I was just being an idiot. Shout out to the Sears Tower. Great reporting.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate all your hard work.
No problem, you guys.
Don't come back from Detroit without a win.
Well, I'm coming back, so regardless of coming with a win or not, I'm coming back. I ain't staying in Detroit.
Detroit's a great city. Shout out everyone.
What?
Bye, Nick.
You guys.
3 minutes to show close. Oh, you better get these super chats in.
Okay, I'm just still distracted by you saying you were on psychedelics sleeping in the Sears Tower.
Underrated move.
Okay. Dan Evans, $20 super chat. Appreciate it, Dan. Stadium talk is a nice distraction for the 5-game losing streak going on 6. Joseph San Giovanni, $10 or 12. What's CHF? I don't know that one. I don't know if we've had that one. I like what Thomas Brown is doing, but still no slants.
Maybe he doesn't think the offense is good at the slants. Trust whatever Thomas Brown decides.
Last week's a tough matchup for slants. When you got all those guys either coming up or bailing out.
It's a Swiss franc.
A Swiss franc?
Yeah.
Take that.
Franc.
Take that, San Giovanni. We love you. Appreciate you.
Why'd you say take that to him?
Because he wants slants, and you just gave a great slant reason.
Well,
he did his inner Cap there, and Cap was throwing shots at Carm on his morning radio show today.
Was he?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what was said, but I heard shots were fired about Carm's affinity for Khalil Herbert.
He attacked me for liking Khalil Herbert because, David Kaplan just is excellent at evaluating talent like Mitchell Trubisky, who I think he had in the Hall of Fame. You watch. When he goes elsewhere, he'll dominate.
Not really.
My guy.
And not Aaron Rodgers, $10. I'm late, but props for the awesome tailgate on Sunday. It was great to meet you guys. Carm, nice job on the Caleb passing yards bet. That can fund your new Blue Chew purchase.
Aaron Rodgers, if you missed the show yesterday, not Aaron Rodgers, I shouted you out at length at the end of the show. So, but it was awesome. This guy's name is Aaron Rodgers.
2 different
and he's
guys.
a Bears fan.
Last month we had a guy named Aaron Rodgers that, like, imagine the torment of being named Aaron Rodgers as a Bears fan, and then one guy right after the Washington game who was at the Washington game and his name was Noah Brown, and he's a Bears fan.
Wow. That's rough.
And in an instant, his name was ruined.
Roddy B 199. Why trust polls to hire staff?
We discussed that one there, Roddy. And
all right, we got to get going. We got to make way for our awesome CHGO Blackhawks podcast coming up next.
Hey, not
him,
Aaron Rodgers. I love talking to you, by the way.
See you in
It's a fun
Fox
combo.
Lake tomorrow.
Yep.
At Ray's CDJR. Make sure you hit up the Black Friday deal. If you're a diehard, it's ready for you now. Stay tuned for more Black Friday deal updates as the week goes on.
See you tomorrow in Fox Lake at Ray CDJR. Talk to you then.
We all silly like the mayor.